A very good morning to all of you. I am Sonam Dubey, Assistant Professor in SARC Bhopal. Now, today I am to introduce the basic concept of database management system, and the topic is architecture and layer of DBMS. Okay. Now, the content is data model, architecture of DBMS, layers or levels of DBMS architecture, the components of DBMS, DBMS languages, and now at the last references. So before introduce the data model, first of all we have just introduced what is DBMS. The DBMS basic related with the data. So data is nothing but a collection of different kinds of information, and these are either related or unrelated. And when we organize that particular data in a some organized manner, that is called database management system. So we can say a DBMS is a collection of two terms, that is database and management system. Now, the data models. The data model has the different kinds of role in DBMS. So, there are three types of data models: the hierarchical model, physical model, and network model. Now, the first one is hierarchical model. The hierarchical model, data model, organize data in a tree structure. There is a hierarchy of parents and child data segments. This structure implies that a record can have a repeating information generally in the child data segments. So generally a hierarchical model basically just find out in a tree structure. That means there is some relation between a data and their child. That means there is a parent-child relationship in hierarchical model. That means this structure basically implies a record can have repeating information, that is in the form of child data segments, that the main important information is stored in a parent data and the remaining information is stored in these child segments. The hierarchical DBMS, with the introduction of DBMS, allow the basic types of needs. Now the second one is network model. Now everyone know the popularity of the network data model coincided with the popularity of the hierarchical data model. Some data were more naturally modeled with more than one parent per child. That means this is just related with all the hierarchical model, but the basic difference is the data, the child model or the child segment is also divided in the multiple segments. So according to the different kinds of need, we can say a network data model is used in a different kinds of DBMSs, because in this data are naturally modeled with more than one parent per child. But in hierarchical model, data is only categorized into two or different things. But in a network data model, we can model our data in more than one parent per child. And the second one is, so the network model permitted the modeling of many-to-many relationship in data. In DBMS, there is a different kinds of relationship. That means that is one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many. So the network data model basically permitted to modeling of many-to-many relationship in data. This concept is introduced in 1970, the Conference of Data System Languages, that is said to be called SE, formally defined in the network model. In this example, we can say preventive maintenance is divided into two basic parts, that is rigid payment and flexible payment. And again the rigid payment is divided into small repair and joint seal, and flexible payment is divided into crack seal and patching. And but the joint seal has two things, that is silicon sealant and asphalt sealant, but both are having the same parents, and the asphalt sealant is again both are having different parents, that is joint seal and patching. That means in this model we can categorize the child into again different kinds of parents. Now, the third one is relational model. The relational model mainly used in DBMS because when we are organized different kinds of relational data in some particular tabular format that consists of some columns and rows, then we are using the RDBMS, that stands for Relational Database Management System. And because all these data is related with that particular database, that's why it is said to be a relational database model. The first concept of RDBMS is introduced by E.F. Codd. Now the next one is a relational database allows the definition of data structure, storage and retrieval operation and integrity constant. That means a relational database allows the definition of data structure. That means our data structure is nothing but a collection of different kinds of data that is organized in some efficient manner, and we can use these data in some manageable format. And the data format is not decided, that means it consider all types of various kinds of format. And the next one is retrieval operation. Retrieval operations, that means when we design any database management system, we can use different kinds of query like SQL, that is structured query language, that allows we can retrieve our data, we can get our data from different by using different queries like create, alter, use, show and truncate. These are some different types of operations that are used for the retrieval. Now, integrity constant. Integrity constant is nothing but this basically defines how we can use different types of data in some particular format. Now, third one, in such a database, the data and relation between them are organized in a table. A table is a collection of records, and each record in a table contains the same fields. That means database basically consists of a data and a relation, and these relation among that particular data. That means it may be either parent and child relationship, parent and the relationship between subclasses, and all these data is organized in a table format. And a table is a collection of records. That means when we are having a different kinds of data in a tabular format, then we can use a database, relational database. For example, suppose we have to make a table for any college student, so we can use college ID, college name, address, phone number, email ID, and their father's name, mother's name, and different kinds of fields. So all these data are relational data because these data consist of a child or student data. So all these data is organized in some kinds of table. So this type of relational data is organized in a relational data model. Now, the properties of relational tables. Values are atomic, each row is unique, column values are of same kind, the sequence of column is insignificant, the sequence of rows is insignificant, and each column has a unique name. That means the first one is values are atomic. Suppose we are making a table that are having two different values. That means each person have two mobile numbers. So we have to create a particular table for two records. That means a particular person has one mobile number, and again we have to enter the person records in second row. So in that case the values are atomic. But if we are using in a single row two values, that is not atomic. Now the second one is each row is unique. That means if one row consists of a phone number, that is the phone number consists of 10 digits. If we are using 9 digits or less than 10 digits, that is not unique. So again, each row is consists of a unique value, and the third one is column values are of the same kind. That means if we are fill the column values with different kinds of values, all are having unique values. If we can enter a wrong values in that particular data, so all data are not unique. The sequence of column is insignificant. That means when we are using a column serial numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 at the last 10, so these are some either ascending order and in descending order. So we can just take care of this, and each column has a unique name. Object-oriented model. Object-oriented DBMS add database functionality to object programming languages. They bring much more than a persistent storage of programming language objects. A major benefit of this approach is a unification of application and database development into a seamless data model and language environment. Now, semi-structured model. In semi-structured data model, information that is normally associated with a schema is contained within the data, which is sometimes called self-describing. And the second one, in some database, there is no clear separation between a database and a schema. A schema is nothing but the overall design of a data in a particular database, and the degree to which it is structured depends on that particular application. Now, the architecture of DBMS basically consists of three basic layers, that is external, conceptual and internal level. So this is the architecture of DBMS. Now, so these are the layers of DBMS: external and conceptual and internal level. External level basically define the logical records and the relationship, and the second conceptual level basically represent the entire database that describe the relationships among records and data in a conceptual view. An internal level indicates how the data will be stored and prescribed in data structure and access methods. Now, these are some database languages like data definition language, data control language, transition control languages, and these are having different examples. Data manipulation language, for example, select, insert, update, delete, merge and call, explain, plan and log table. Now, thanks.